Welcome to Illuminate Your Truth, a spiritual podcast for truth seekers and awakening souls. So today we're going to kind of get away from our topic of death and the afterlife. We're gonna talk about something else that is very close to my heart, and that is how to start a spiritual practice. We're going to continue with death and the afterlife next week, but I figured we would talk about something new and different today, so let's dive in. So a spiritual practice, what does that mean? How can we begin to master ourselves? How do we begin to really focus on growing our psychic abilities and becoming more in tune with our intuition? So I have a few steps here that I'd like to talk to you all about, and these are just different steps that I've used in my life to really help expand my awareness, to really go within. And they're very practical steps. Like I said, I mentioned in previous podcasts, I'm a very practical person, so I really love lists and I really like practicality. So let's begin. So my step number one is to wake up early. And I have two children. They are under the age of 3, and so if I want time alone, I really have to wake up early. So for me, it's either 5 o'clock or 6, and I get up and I do what I need to do for myself. So waking up early can definitely give you that time that you need to go within and to do your spiritual practice. Now, it's also really important to create or have a sacred space ready so that whenever you wake up, at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, you're probably still tired. So you're going to want to create a space that's comfortable for you. A lot of times I'll wake up and I'll go make myself some herbal tea or some coffee. Usually it has caffeine in it because I do enjoy caffeine. So I really like yerba mate. It's a South American herb and it's used, as a coffee substitute. I'm sorry. And it's really yummy. Just add a little bit of honey and it tastes really good and it helps to kind of wake you up a little bit. So make sure you wake up early. Have a space ready for yourself. Maybe make some tea just to kind of help, wake you up. And it definitely takes some getting used to waking up early, but it's definitely worth it. Carving out that time for yourself is very important, especially if you're a parent and you have children that you're taking care of. It's definitely important to focus on that self-love, that self-care, and give yourself some time to focus on you. Step number 2 is start journaling. Journaling is one of my favorite forms of, or favorite parts of my spiritual practice. I really use it for going within. We're going to talk about it a little bit more in future steps here, but start journaling. Get a journal that you really like. I really love gold lined journals. I'll find one with a really nice picture on it, something that really vibes with me. I'll get myself a nice pen and it just gets me excited to start writing, to start journaling. And I really I'm very much about aesthetics sometimes, so that can just really get me in the mood to journal. Just having something that is beautiful that I can look forward to doing in the morning. So, okay, you have your journal, you're up early. Now what? So step number 3 I say start a gratitude practice. And I know that you hear this a lot in the spiritual community, but it is one of the most important things, I feel, is writing down at least 5 things that you're grateful for. And I don't mean just writing them down and just saying, I'm grateful for my home, I'm grateful for this. Why don't you explain why you're grateful for these things? It really is helpful whenever you really can go deep into why you're grateful for something. And the more gratitude that you have in your life, the more, you love your life, and you have a more positive outlook towards your life. And it really does help with manifestation as well, because if you feel like you have everything that you need, it definitely helps you feel that gratitude and that love for life. And you can kind of see what you would like to change in your life. And it definitely gives you a nice foundation. If you feel like your life is lacking, starting a gratitude practice is definitely something that I would recommend. So what I do is I journal, and the first thing is I write down 5 things that that I'm grateful for. And, just write those down and just really let those things sink in. It'll really help you get okay and comfortable with where you're at in your life. I know sometimes we wish that we were somewhere else, but you have to realize that you manifested where you are right now. And at some point in your life, you wanted to be where you're at. So why don't you take that time and enjoy it and be grateful for all of the changes, all of the growth, no matter how big or small, and just write that down. Okay, step number 4 is self-discovery through journaling prompts. Now, I love journaling prompts. You can find lots of them online. They are really good for discovering, how you feel about things, how you feel about certain topics. They really do help you dive within yourself. So definitely, I say look up some journaling prompts or come up with some on your own. They can look like a lot of different things. But I really feel like journaling, can really help you discover how you feel about certain topics and what you want to change in your life. And it really does help get that out. And even if you don't know what to write, there's a thing called spirit writing or free writing. Just start writing. Just let it flow. You don't think about it too much. And later on, after you're done, just look it over and see what you wrote. And it's usually exactly what you need. All right, step number 5, oracle cards and tarot cards. I really love looking, and I really love going through the tarot, especially if I am pondering on a specific question or I have an issue or need some guidance. Oracle cards, tarot cards are definitely a great tool to use. I love the traditional Rider-Waite, and I have a few angel decks that I really like to go into, but they just really help me to grasp certain questions, and they really do help to answer questions that I may have. But get yourself a cool tarot card, oracle card deck that vibes with you. There's so many. Oh my goodness. Like I said, I really love the traditional Rider-Waite. And then I have oracle cards so that I can get different messages from spirit. Like I said, I really love working with angels. So I have multiple angel decks that I use. But that really helps me, especially if I need a specific answer. There are also YouTubers who read tarot, and you can just look them up. They have certain spreads already done, and if one of them vibes with you, I just click it and you could just listen and you could get your own reading. It's pretty cool. If you believe in the law of attraction, you believe that you stumble upon things, it's not really that you're stumbling upon them, it's that they're shown to you, and it's exactly what you need. But I do really love tarot, and I really love oracle cards, so definitely I say get you a deck. So I would say that would be step number 6. You could look on YouTube and, find some tarot readers that you vibe with, and the different topics that they read, that they have, and just see what vibes with you. Step number 7 is start an altar practice. Now, for me, that is an ancestor altar. That was one of my first altars that I ever had created, was an ancestor altar. So what is altar work? So altar work is going to the altar, saying a prayer to call in the ancestors, lighting a candle, lighting incense, pouring fresh, cool water, maybe leaving an offering like a snack or some type of food, something like that, and sitting there and listening. It's really what I do when I go to my altar, listening. And I also bring my journal because I don't have the best memory, and I'm clairaudient, so what I hear I write down so they don't forget. And I'll sit there and I'll just listen. Sometimes I'll talk to specific ancestors. Sometimes I will go there wanting to talk to either my father or some of my ancient grandmothers who have really guided me throughout my years. I'll sit there and I'll listen. And sometimes I'll just be open to whoever comes. And, then I just journal everything. And after I read it, and it's usually the guidance that I needed. But altar work also includes taking care of the altar, cleaning it off. I mentioned pouring the water, pouring fresh water, leaving offerings. But that can really help you get in the zone, because when you sit at an altar, that's all you're focused on. And it really does help you strengthen your psychic abilities, especially if you're working on your clairvoyance or clairaudience. Just really focus that energy on that certain premise. So step number 8, meditate. Now, meditation is so important for a spiritual practice, and it can look a lot of different ways. A lot of times people think that you have to meditate for a half hour at a time when you're starting, and I'm just saying, please don't try and do that, because you might get discouraged. For me, it was very discouraging because I had a hard time. I had monkey mind, so my brain was going at 1,000 miles a minute. So I learned to just start with 5 minutes at a time or longer. And after I got comfortable meditating for 5 minutes, I was like, okay, I could do 10. Okay, I could do 15. And then you just go as long as you want, as long as you're comfortable with it. But meditation is so important to a spiritual practice. It really does help you connect with your intuition. You can receive signs, messages from your spirit guides through meditation. I really like guided meditations, so I really love listening to meditation guides and being led through journeys. That's a really good way to start journeying. But yeah, like I said, 5 minutes, I really love to just focus on my breathing sometimes. Your breath is an amazing tool for meditation, focusing on your inhalation and your exhalation. That's something that definitely helped me stay on track with meditation. But like I said, step number 8, meditate for 5 minutes or longer. Step number 9, listen to what you feel, hear, see, and experience. Definitely your psychic abilities have a lot to do with your 5 senses. So, you definitely want to be aware of that, even when you're meditating, of what you see, hear, feel, experience, because those experiences are real and they're important. Like I said, I'm clairaudient, so I hear things, I hear spirits, and I am also clairvoyant, but it's more of a third eye kind of vision. So whenever I need to see, I close my eyes. You may be different. You may see things physically, in front of you, and so be aware of that too. What you feel, I'm definitely a feeler. I definitely can feel when there's spirits around, and when energy shifts. You can do lots of exercises on feeling deeper, One method is calling in an angel. Their vibration is very high, and I've noticed that whenever you call in an angel, they are very, very heavy, and they're very big, very tall. So whenever I call in Michael, you call in angels, just say, Archangel Michael, can you please be with me now? He's with you. And, just focus on what you feel. Focus if you notice any differences in the room energetically, and just really focus on those differences, because those definitely are real experiences, and they're going to help you, grow and become more sensitive to feeling energies deeper, which is definitely a good thing if you're trying to work with spirits and angels and beings from different realms. So step number 10, remember that this is your time. Whatever time you decide to do your spiritual practice, it could be in the evening, it could be in the morning. Remember that this is your time. Make time for you. This is all about that. Comes back to that self-love, that self-care. Remember that this is you going within to learn more about yourself, who you are, and who you want to become. I really love using my spiritual practice for my manifestation, writing down things the new me, where do I want to be in a year? What goals do I have for myself? Where do I want to see myself? Really utilize that time and take it seriously, because it is something that's serious, and you can definitely do it, and it doesn't have to be hours and hours. It could be an hour. Just really have a good layout of what you want to do in that hour, and do it, and just remember that it's important and it's a special time for you. It doesn't matter what your spiritual path is. You can choose multiple spiritual paths. That's the fun thing and cool thing about spirituality, is there's no specific rule by rule kind of way of doing anything, and you can make it really fun. But yes, start your spiritual practice as soon as you can. It's definitely important for spiritual growth, and to carve out that time for yourself. All right, well, thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to talk quickly about how to start a spiritual practice. It's really not as hard as you think, and I wish you all so much luck with this. It can be really fun and addictive. All right, so I will talk to you all later, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.